Come on everyone, welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you're new. I'm Mark. Let's go with y'all. Go check out my other videos. Check them out, check them out. And yes, I know. Mark, what's been going on with you? You are lacking so much on recording. I mean, guys, my tripod broke. I don't know what you guys want from me. I can't record without it. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into the video. 3 firearms that I dislike seeing on the range as an RSO. So, a lot of people might be thinking, really, as an RSO, there are firearms that you don't like seeing on the range? Don't you want to see all kinds of firearms on the range? Yeah, sure, I do. However, one thing I don't want to see are firearms that the majority of people don't know how to shoot correctly. That's a perfect example. And actually, technically, all 3 of these fall under that category, but that's besides the point. I'm not going to sit here and just skip all the way to the end. Let's get right into it. So, for starters, number 1, the majority of Dracos. Why do I say the majority of Dracos? You guys might be wondering. You guys might be like, Mark, don't you like AKs? Why wouldn't you like a Draco? The majority of Dracos don't have any sort of brace or stock on them. There are some people who will go out of their way to pay the extra money, yes, get an SBR, do all that good stuff, and that's a whole different situation. That's why I said the majority, because there are those who will go out of their way to get some sort of brace or stock on their Draco so where they can actually shoulder and hit something. The majority don't. The majority just don't do it. The majority will sit there and go with no brace, no stock, and they think they're going to hit anything. I mean, yes, you can get maybe 1 or 2 rounds on target. If you're even remotely going fast, you're not hitting a single thing. You are hitting everywhere other than your intended target. As a matter of fact, standing where the target is standing is probably going to be the safest place in the world for you. That's just how it is. A lot of people may not like hearing, hey, yes, this very popular firearm that a lot of people consistently talk about. A lot of RSOs don't like seeing it. Yeah, because we know the majority of people who own them do not know how to shoot them correctly. And not to mention, I don't want my ceiling or my floors getting shot. I don't know how else to explain it. But moving on from the Dracos, or at least the majority of them, because again, there are some people who will go out of their way and get some sort of brace or stock for their Draco so where they can actually shoulder it and actually shoot it correctly and actually hit more than 1 round on target out of a 30-round mag. AR pistols. Now, again, there are exceptions to this rule. Some people might be wondering, Mark, what AR pistol, why is an AR pistol such a big deal to you as an RSO? Why do you not like seeing an AR pistol out on the range? Well, that's because a lot of people, unfortunately, they decide that when they get an AR pistol, that buffer tube is all they need to shoulder their gun, and that's not the truth. The buffer tube specials, or what I like to call them, oftentimes are accompanied by 0 way of sighting. So in the end, the AR pistol in particular, the majority of people think, hey, yeah, I have a pretty good idea where my projectile is going, and it goes about a good few feet higher than where you thought it was going. I hate to break this to everybody, but if you're going to come in with a firearm that you're not going to be able to shoulder in any way, shape, or form, especially when it's a firearm that you should be able to, and then you're not going to have any sort of sighting system on there, whether it's iron sights, whether it's a dot, whatever it may be. And yeah, I mean, I don't know how else to say it other than to say, yeah, a lot of RSOs, including myself, despise seeing what I call at least the buffer tube special. Again, why is that? Because the majority of people are not going to be able to shoot it correctly, especially if you have no way of aiming. You're not going to be able to shoot it correctly regardless. But beyond that, it's just there being no way to shoulder the firearm, there being no way to aim the firearm. And not to mention also, this is just my personal opinion. This isn't one of the reasons why I don't like them on the range, but it is just my personal opinion. Sometimes they can be obnoxious. I've seen people with 5-inch 5.56 AR pistols. That's obnoxious. At that point, you're getting the velocity of a 9mm. I don't know what else to say. Moving on, though, from the AR pistols, we're going to get off the topic of pistols and talk about actual pistols. Any of the Sky guns or the SCCY guns, any of those firearms, when I see them on the range, instantly I feel like the person who has them probably isn't shooting good. Why is that? Well, the majority of those firearms have extremely long, extremely heavy triggers, are piss poor when it comes to accuracy, piss poor when it comes to reliability. Overall, they're just not a good buy. So why do I despise seeing them on the range so much, especially as an RSO? Because I feel somebody got duped into spending their hard-earned money on a firearm that is sub-mediocre at best. With that being said, I do think that about wraps it up for this video. But before I go ahead and do all that, please remember, guys, this video is subjective. These are my personal opinions. These are 3 firearms that I personally dislike seeing on the range as an RSO. But with that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit it all in. Whether or not you agree with me about my thoughts on these 3 firearms, whether or not you personally like these firearms or not, whether or not you enjoy being around other people who are shooting those firearms or not, I don't think you do though. Go and comment your thoughts down below. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.